sold for a fortune on the black market, the poacher makes his move. Waiting for the moment when the two are left alone, Poachers takes aim. The elder brother roars with all his courage to protect the younger. Then, the gunshot. His sacrifice was in vain. The surviving Charmander nudges his brother, desperately trying to wake him, only to be cruelly captured and carried away. When the mother returns, despair is soon replaced by pure, burning fury, and the hunt to reclaim her child begins. Poachers are despised, not only for their vile acts, but also because their recklessness often brings devastation. It takes her little time to track down the village, and when she does, for the poacher there is no escape, only the certainty of his fate. And though the wound of loss will never truly heal, at last, mother and child are reunited. From the moment they hatch, Squirtle face their first great trial, survival. Tiny and vulnerable, the newborns must cross the open beach, searching for shelter, while evading the watchful eyes of predators. A kingler spots the group. Its massive claws close in. Shells this young cannot withstand such force. Not all will survive today. But fortune intervenes. A Staraptor swoops down, seizing the predator in an instant, and Squirtle live to see another day. Their power lies in family. Side by side, they defend themselves, driving back attackers with a barrage of water. And then, the first Squirtle evolves. With Warturtle at the lead, Phase 2 begins. The great migration across the ocean. Before departure, the family feeds. Every ounce of energy will be needed for the dangerous journey ahead. Together, they swim. Nights spent hidden on the seabed. Days pressing forward without rest. But the ocean holds greater threats. From the depths, a nightmare awakens. Gyarados. The family scatters. Wartortle stays behind, a decoy, sacrificing himself so the others may escape. The group reaches the shore, but their leader is gone. Until a shape breaks the surface. Against all odds, Wartortle has survived. The family gathers around him, and in that moment, their guardian transforms. Blastoise. A giant born from sacrifice, now powerful enough to protect his kin. Until one day, the cycle begins anew. In the depths of the damp forests, a newborn Bulbasaur opens its eyes. The creature takes its first steps under the protection of its mother. But even at a young age, it will soon be left to fend for itself. At first glance, Bulbasaur may look like a small reptile, but what makes it extraordinary is the living plant growing from its back. By day, it harnesses sunlight through photosynthesis, which it shares with its host. In return, Bulbasaur provides mobility and protection, carrying the plant in search of water and light. A partnership written in the fabric of evolution. To feed, Bulbasaur follows two strategies: grazing on plants and roots, but in harsher times, its bulb grants it a rare gift. With the ability known as leech seed, it can draw sustenance directly from others, an adaptation that ensures its survival where few could endure. Despite its gentle appearance, Bulbasaur can defend itself. A Beedrill, seeing what seems to be easy prey, charges with its stingers. But what it doesn't know is that the bulb can release deadly toxins. The Beedrill weakens, collapses, and without an antidote, its fate is sealed. Over years, as its bulb gathers enough solar energy, it blossoms, triggering evolution, first into Ivysaur and later into Venusaur.
Breaking news, the Patreon is live. If you want to support my AI journey and discover the step-by-step guide on how I use the tools, check the link in bio and description. And now, back to our regular programming.
A true ecosystem flourishes on its back, a majestic symbiosis as grand as the creature itself. Many Pokémon are drawn to feed on its nectar. Though peaceful, Venusaur fears no predator in its forest. When challenged, its mighty vines strike with devastating force. Yet often, after overpowering an opponent, it releases them, a gesture of mercy and a warning for the generations to come. Among the longest-lived creatures in the Pokémon world, scientists believe their growth never truly ends. In rare cases, they undergo a final transformation into what researchers now call their Gigantamax form. And from its shell emerges a clumsy, curious hatchling, a Psyduck. In the distance, a sharp headache strikes the mother, an instinctive warning that something has changed. But when she sees her newborns, the pain fades, replaced by a rush of joy. The hatchling takes its first wobbly steps into the world. Awkward and unsteady, it stumbles into the mud. Struggling to rise, it discovers its greatest fragility, a sudden, piercing headache. Clutching its head, the pain triggers an uncontrollable psychic surge. Energy ripples outward, making the waters tremble. Exhausted, it seeks comfort, moving toward its mother. But danger lurks in the swamp. An Ekans glides silently through the reeds, cold eyes, sinuous body, poised to strike. The hatchling falls prey to the serpent. The mother watches in horror as her child is swallowed alive. Rage, pain, instinct, all converge in a blinding migraine unlike any she has ever known. And from that agony comes power. In a sudden flash, her body transforms. Golduck emerges. The force she once could not control now answers to her will. With a devastating psychic wave, she tears the Ekans apart. The hatchling escapes, rushing back into his mother's embrace. Safe at last, the young Psyduck learns that what he thought his greatest weakness may become his greatest strength. Hidden in the alcove lies a Pichu cub. Its mother, fallen prey to an Arbok, has left it all alone. No one remains to teach it how to face the dangers of the forest. Driven only by hunger, Pichu takes its first steps. A berry, irresistible. Clumsily, it rushes toward the fruit. What it does not know is that it is being watched. A Mankey spots its prey. Pichu, absorbed in feeding, notices nothing. The predator leaps onto its target. But in this very moment, a violent electric shock, strong enough to paralyze its attacker, granting Pichu the time to escape. This is the life that awaits it. And so, experience brings evolution. Among the most social of Pokémon, Pikachu often aids smaller creatures in distress. Some call it the capybara of Kanto, a being that builds a family not by blood, but by bonds. Mostly, Pikachu feeds on berries and seeds, yet, on rare occasions when hunger strikes, small insect may find its way into its diet. Birds fear it, great predators respect it. Few are bold enough to face its lightning, and in rare instances, a Pikachu encounters something extraordinary, a thunderstone. An ancient call urges it closer. When they finally touch, thunder answers. The Pikachu becomes Raichu, ready to unleash the storm upon any who threaten its peace. And in moments of greatest peril, when his thunder can't defeat the threat, it summons a secret technique, Vote Tackle. Hurling itself forward, cloaked in blinding lightning, Raichu becomes both shield and spear. The force is devastating, yet the strain upon its own body is immense. A reminder that even the strongest guardians bear the weight of sacrifice to protect the harmony of their world. Who is scribbling on Pikachu? The answer lies in Jigglypuff, frustrated because every time it performed, its audience fell asleep. From the tropical shores of the Caribbean to the harsh rocky deserts, from snow-covered peaks to blazing volcanic ridges. Jigglypuff sang its heart out in every corner of the world. Yet the result was always the same. Its voice, so flawless and soothing, lulled every Pokémon into deep slumber. The more they slept, the angrier it became, and the angrier it grew, the more furiously it drew on their faces. When the audience awoke, no one remembered the sweet performer. Just when Jigglypuff was about to abandon its dream, a fierce Loudred appeared, ready to attack. Disheartened, Jigglypuff sang once more. But something unexpected happened. For the first time, Jigglypuff's song did not send anyone to sleep. Overwhelmed with joy, Jigglypuff found in Loudred a kindred spirit. With Loudred's help, Jigglypuff convinced the leader of the pack to allow a concert in their dark cavern. There, Jigglypuff sang as it never had before. And for the first time, instead of drifting into dreams, the Whismur and Loudred danced. That night, they celebrated Jigglypuff as the star it was always meant to be. Whether it's used to harden Machoke's fists or as a toothpick by a Tyranitar, the life of a Geodude is harsh and perilous. Every day, Geodude trains relentlessly, challenging its own kind to grow tougher. In this brutal struggle for endurance, some even fight to the death. Those who fail to harden enough simply cannot survive the dangers of this world. When a Geodude becomes resilient enough, it evolves into Graveler. Now capable of withstanding Machoke's mighty punches, its training continues, driven by a single purpose: to protect and avenge its fallen kin. At the sight of yet another Geodude in danger, the spark of evolution ignites within Graveler. In a surge of fury, it transforms into Golem. The ground trembles beneath its rage as it calls out, a warning to the predator. Then, with unstoppable force, Golem hurls itself forward, crashing into the enemy Onyx like a living wrecking ball. A roar echoes through the mountains, a warning to all. No one who dares disturb the peace of its kin will go unpunished.